last batch. So we've been cooking for an hour now. We're finally down to the last bit.
He's our daddy, not a chef. He's got mad skills, you must confess. So come and watch a thing or two, cause right now there ain't nothing to do. Subscribe to Daddy Pro Chef.
All right, so we got to cook 96 chicken breasts. I got 2 cases from Gordon Food Service. GFS is my favorite place to get these kinds of things. They came frozen, 48 in a case. Each chicken breast fits directly in one of these, which shows you they're all almost exactly the same size. That way when I'm cooking them, I know I've got about 4 minutes on each side and I've got done chicken. Now we're going to have a lot of fun because I've got to season 96 chicken breasts. But it's super easy. We're going to grab a little seasoning. I'm using Montreal chicken. So it works really well for this. And when you season, you always hold your seasoning up high. Get a nice even coat. We'll flip it over. Notice I've got a little plastic wrap over my pan. It's not saran wrap, then I'd be giving a needless plug. So I'm going to do this 96 times. After I get done seasoning both sides, I'll drizzle a little oil on it just so it doesn't stick to the grill. And we'll do them really quick. I'll show you how I grill them. Put them right into a pan so they'll be ready to warm up tomorrow morning. Okay, so we've got our grill already heated up. What we're going to do is we're going to open it up, take our little scraper and make sure that it is ready to go. Now, for chicken this size, these are all 5-ounce breasts. What we're going to do is we've got the grill hot, but we're going to turn it down because if we don't, they're going to burn on the outside and be raw in the middle, and we don't want to give 96 people salmonella poisoning tomorrow. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take each chicken and we're just going to lay them across. Just as you saw, they were all seasoned. They've got a little olive oil on them, just enough to grill. As you can see, it looks like we're going to get 10 on the grill at a time. So I got my iced coffee because it's a little hot out here, Florida weather. All right, so we're going to put our chickens 90 degrees. All right, I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control and I think I like it. Oh my gosh. There we go. We got a nice split. That's about 6 minutes. We'll go 2 or 3 here. And we'll start loading up a pan. I just have to stand here and wait, watch, wait. Here's my moral support. Okay, so we're going to start our marinara sauce now. I'm not going to show you how long it takes me to cut all these onions, but I'm only going to use one onion. But I just want to show you this little contraption here. This is my onion chopper. It's really important when you're cooking that you get the same size cut on everything you cut. So I'm going to do one onion for this and two for my marsala sauce. So I'm going to punch these out and then we'll get to making the marinara. Okay, so we've got our onion going in the pan. We have some olive oil in there and just enough to coat the bottom of the pan. I'm going to add a number 6 can. This is a number 10 can. I don't know. It's a big can. We're going to put in 3 tablespoons of dried basil. There's this thing going on, coronavirus, and I guess there was a run on toilet paper and fresh basil. I have some of the liquid squirt tube. I just decided I'm just going to use the dried. Normally I would use about 1.5 fresh. I'm going to use a little bit more of the dried. For some reason, the fresh tends to open up. That's really, I'm going to salt to taste and put in a little pepper to taste. Normally, I would personally add some crushed red pepper, but my crowd tomorrow is a little bit on the older side, and they would all say, ooh, this is too hot. I would add probably 2 teaspoons of crushed red pepper for a really nice marinara that opens up the palate. But that's what we have, and that's what we're going to put. So I put in a little bit of salt and pepper, and we're getting a boil. We're debating on if we're going to add a little more tomato, and we'll just kind of play it by ear. We'll see how this tastes, see how the flavor comes out. So we're going to go ahead and turn this down, just let it simmer for a while. And we got these all-clad lids. These are fantastic. They'll go pretty much on anything. They're just flat. We're going to use that. We've already got our pasta water back here. We'll turn that on. The water's warm. I'm really weird about the water coming out of my faucet. I have my water heater turned up to 140 degrees. So I pretty much sanitize everything as it's coming out. We got our onions going. We've got our mushrooms prepared to put in our marsala. We made a slurry, and that's just some flour inside some of the beef broth we're going to use. I always wondered why people do chicken marsala, but it's a brown mushroom sauce that is done with beef broth. So, well, we've got our onions in here, and I just turned it up. So we've got a little bit of onion going. We'll let that soften. That's 2 whole onions. Now I'm making what might be a little bit too much marsala sauce, but I like marsala sauce, and it does pretty good by saving it. 2 years ago, I made too much, and we had marsala sauce whenever we wanted. It was in our freezer in little self-contained bags that we vacuum sealed, and we decided we're going to have chicken marsala. That's what we do. This is about 4 pounds of mushrooms. And then we're going to take our friend marsala wine, which is sweet, and so I got the dry, which is still sweet. So And for the marsala, we're just gonna pour enough in to coat. Let's see how much it comes out. Half a bottle. We'll let that come back to a boil. We want the mushrooms to kind of absorb some of that flavor. Sometimes I'll even use a little bit more. If I'm doing a batch just for the house, I'll usually flambe out the alcohol in this. But considering this is this much, I'd like to keep my hood, and so therefore I'm not going to flambe it. But we will have to cook it a little bit more. And as you see, I didn't put all the mushrooms in here. I might add those in just a moment. But marsala is just a brown gravy, brown sauce with mushrooms and marsala oil. Everything's kind of cooked down. Like it to be strong. I just don't like any of the bitterness that comes out in garlic. We're going to add about 1.5 teaspoons or half a tablespoon, however you want to do it. Once again, this is for a large group of people, and half of them won't even have the marsala sauce because they don't want to even have one touch drip of the alcohol in it. And while you're cooking it out, some people swear that you still are getting some. So I don't argue. But I still am not going to over add the garlic. I like lots of garlic. Anything with garlic is good to me. You know, it's good. It's good in everything except for maybe chocolate. So there's even other desserts that I've added a little garlic to. So I know, crazy. But so we're just gonna let this go, and then we'll add our slurry in a minute when we see that this has come to a full boil, so that we know that the alcohol is turning off. And then we're going to add the slurry, get a little bit thick. We'll add the rest of the beef broth here. And yeah, here's our slurry. My cameraman said I should have done it in front of you, but you know, it's just a slurry, right? It's just some flour and some beef broth. And then we have the rest of it. This is about 50 ounces of beef broth. We got half a cup of marsala. We have what will be eventually here. I may add the rest of these mushrooms in as these cook down. I'm running out of big pots. I've got a pot back here that's got warm, almost boiling water. I got 2 of those. We're going to make 7.5 pounds of pasta. The coronavirus now scare has, we've already had 10 people cancel, so we're probably all going to be eating a little leftover chicken for the next couple of days, but so be it. All right, we're down to the end, and this is what it looks like at the end when I'm prepping for something big. I've got kids eating ice cream and a wife who's being my camera person, and she's ready to go to bed, but we got to finish this. So here's what we're going to do. We've got our water boiling. We add some olive oil and salt. Never add your salt before you get the water boiling. It will pit your pan. And when you're buying all-clad, you definitely don't want to pit your pans. Pitted pans are bad, evil. So we've got that going. Now right here, I have an ice bath. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cook, my penne should cook 10 to 12 minutes. I'm using penne, not spaghetti. Should cook 10 to 12 minutes. we're gonna cook it 8 minutes. We're gonna dump it in this ice bath, and when we do that, it'll stop the cooking process. Then tomorrow, I can flash it hot again, and I'll show you what we're gonna do there. We'll flash it hot, add some warm sauce. It'll come out like we just made it from scratch. But you have to have an ice bath to do this. And my cameraman and I, we discussed this for quite a while. I was gonna take a shortcut, but I was convinced not to. So we're gonna show you the right way to do it. So I'm gonna get this pasta in my wreck of a kitchen, and at this time of the night, I'm really not caring. But our water is boiling. Our bag is going in. 2.5 pounds of pasta. We are there. So we're gonna move our pot over here. I'll turn this off real quick. Slowly, we're gonna take the colander out of the pasta. My people here are annoying, but that's okay. They're my kids. Here we go. Into the ice bath.
Ooh, fancies.
Here we go. You see how the ice water, the ice is melting. Stop the cooking process. Still al dente right in there. Minute in the water tomorrow. It'll be cooked all the way. Add the sauce to it. We're good to go. I've got to do this 3 more times now. Well, 2 more times. I'm only going to do 7.5 pounds. That was 2.5. And we're getting tired, getting a little punchy. And we might be punching kids in a minute. So we'll pick up tomorrow morning as we're putting it all together to serve. Peace out. Well, we're on our way. We've got our chicken. I've heated it up in the oven at home. It's about 15 minutes to where we are having our event, and I'm driving, so I'm not really going to look at the camera. I've got to flash the pasta. I've got to get both the marinara sauce and the Marsala sauce. I've got to have it ready to go. People will be eating in 1 hour and 35 minutes. So when I hit the door, I will have to move a little bit quickly. Pasta water's already going. There's all our sauces, our pasta. And we're gonna warm up 3 different sauces, and we have 1 pan. So it's gonna be amazing how we just kind of make it work. Here's my partner in crime. She's come out of retirement just for me and this event. And so we decided last minute we're going to do a couple of pounds of gluten-free pasta. And so here we go. We had our first emergency. Someone ran up to Publix to get olive oil. And we are no longer storing some of these things in here. This beautiful stove. I wonder if you picked it out. It kind of looks just like the one in my house. We got our marinara going, our pasta water's going. We're going to flash the pasta. We're going to get our Marsala hot. The chicken I warmed at home, so it's already been put on to chafing dishes. They're hot, and we are about to roll. So right now we've got garlic bread going. It's getting ready to go in. It's going to be, it says 8 to 10 minutes, but we know that this much going in at one time, it's going to be a little bit longer than that, probably, 11 or 12 minutes. We've got our last minute pasta gluten-free because we're gluten-free. And then we have our regular pasta bean flash. Our marinara is just about hot, and so we'll just whip this all together at one time. And a relatively not too bad a mess. Be a little bit of pickup, but whew. What do you got, man? Well, it's fast. It's good. Fast and good. All right. Boom. It's 11:34.
I can't wait to be just like my dad, Daddy Foge.